What happened? What happened? How did this happen? How was this allowed to happen? The Battlefield 6 beta was peak. It was extraordinary. It was fantastic. It was brilliant. It was fluid. It could have been a lot more fluid, but it was decently fluid in terms of its movement and gunplay and its flow. And now, full launch, it's just been gutted. The gunplay, not anywhere near as good as it was in the beta. The movement, even worse. You're sprinting with your knife out because that's how you move faster in this game, right? And you jump, your momentum completely stops. You literally just stop moving. The Battlefield's... First of all, Battlefield's never been realistic. Let me get that out of the way right now. Battlefield's never been about realism. It's been about being detailed, but never realism. And secondly, even in real life, if you're running, you don't just stop moving when you jump. That's not how physics works. That's not, we learned about Isaac Newton in what, 3rd grade? Come on. He's got 3 laws, right? What are those 3 laws? You don't need AI. Don't use AI. You should know what they are, right? But no, this game is definitely something that is geared towards people that don't go into their settings, don't change things. They play on their flat screens in their living rooms with their surround sounds, and they have no reaction time. They sit in a corner, and they're just abysmally bad at every single game. And it's not, you can't even look me in the eyes with a straight face and tell me, oh, but they're enjoying it. Enjoying what? Sitting in a corner, crouched across the map from the objective, and just sitting in a corner with a shot. I'm not following the enjoyment of this. I don't follow the enjoyment of being bad at a game either. I'm not even talking about that you're laughing with the boys in a chat or something and goofing. No, you're just bad at the game. I don't understand. Go play a single player. Just go play a single player game. But needless to say, this is such a huge downgrade from the beta. The beta was so amazing. It was great. And now we're stuck with Mud Simulator. It feels worse than Battlefield 1. And I mean, like, Battlefield 1 is definitely slower than Battlefield 4. It's a slow Battlefield. And yet that feels better than this somehow. Don't know how that happened. But the whole mechanic of running with your knife out to be faster. Now you're also penalized for jumping while sprinting with your knife. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? How does that make sense? It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. That's why it doesn't make sense, because it doesn't make sense. You feel me? And I feel like that it's just, this shouldn't be rewarded. It really shouldn't be, but the bad players are going to love this game, but then they're going to stop playing it, and they're going to hate every time that somebody like me is better at them regardless, so it doesn't really matter. It's just such a shame, dude. We should have had 2 banger FPSs this year, but thanks to Battlefield 6, Black Ops 7 really locked in, but Battlefield 6 fumbled. Battlefield 6 just, between beta to launch, just completely fell apart, and it's really sad because the beta was just so great. It was so amazing, and I loved it. I literally stayed up until 4 in the morning to play the beta. Like, I was so hyped. I loved it. I couldn't get off the game. And now, with the full launch, I can't be bothered to get on the game. And like I said, I'm refunding it. No. I doubt that they'll do a 2042 and actually manage to turn this game around, because it's being applauded for being this bad, which is a real shame. I think 2042 in its current state is way better than Battlefield 6's launch state. This is atrocious. The gunplay is gone. The movement, what little there was, gone. And listen, if you want your game to be nothing but sitting in a corner simulator, then, hey, you're right up there with Infinity Ward, and you're just... it's just... I don't understand making a game geared towards those people. I'm not even saying that the game needs wall bouncing like Black Ops 7 has. I don't want it to be. I don't want everything to be copy-paste. But I'm not understanding the neuron misfire that's happening in a great deal of people's heads right now with all this. And it's just, Battlefield 6 is having an explosive launch, which I knew it was going to. Everybody knew it was going to. But it's definitely going to trickle, and then I see it having a hard fall off. I really do. I think over the next month and a half, it's going to trickle and then kind of plummet. I think it's going to retain this explosiveness for a few days, and then it's going to already kind of start to dwindle down a bit. I think it's going to follow the path of like Marvel Rivals, for example, but I think it's going to be a lot shorter of a lifespan than Marvel Rivals, but that's just my prediction, which, I gotta be honest, they're usually true. So, there's that. But it's just this I can't get over how much of a downgrade this is from the beta. Like, I don't understand how you had pure FPS gold in a early beta build, and then for the full launch, it's just a hot steaming pile of dookie just on a platter right there. And it's so sad, dude. It's so sad to see it happen, because I don't want any game to fail. Okay, I don't. I feel like people might think that I do because I complain about things a lot, but I complain about things a lot because I'm passionate, because I love things, and that's why I complain so much, because I want to see things at their best. So I'm going to complain when I want something improved, and that's my God-given right anyways to do so, as it is your God-given right to, be a homunculus and sit in a corner with a shotgun, or not ever move around the map and act like this is your first FPS game you've ever played, even though you've apparently been playing them for decades. I don't know how you play something or engage in a hobby activity or whatever the case may be for a great deal of time and never improve. I don't know how you manage to do that, but, props to you, I guess, for doing that. But, no, this is just, I was thinking about just, listen, when it was first announced that these changes were happening, I had hoped that I was just blowing it out of proportion, right? I was hopeful that I was. But honestly, somehow it turned out even worse than I thought it would. And I can hope and cope all I want that they're going to change it and improve it, but they won't, because people are praising it. And, maybe they'll pull 2042. Because 2042 honestly had a great turnaround, and it was left in a really good state. I'd rather go play 2042 over Battlefield 6. Oh God, Battlefield 6, what a fumble. We should have had 2 great FPSs this year. We really should have, but we're only getting 1 now, unfortunately. But that one being really great is partially thanks to Battlefield 6. So again, thank you, Battlefield 6, for making Black Ops 7 lock in. And before we have to deal with the hell that is Infinity Ward with MW4. But the people that like Battlefield 6 in its current state will probably be the same people that like MW4 in its god-awful, repulsive state. So there's that. Correlation, causation, blah, 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 blah. I was thinking of just thugging it out, and just dealing with Battlefield 6 until Black Ops 7, but I really can't. I just can't. I can't deal with that. I just can't. I think about playing the game, and when the beta came out, I thought about playing the game, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to play the game. I want to play the game. Battlefield 6 full launch, I'm like, I don't want to touch that, dude. I don't shoot. No, thank you. And it's a real shame. It really is, but here we are, so. Listen, if they manage to turn the game around, I'll be first in line to buy it again, because money isn't real. Let's be fair here. Just throw money at whatever you want to. It's not real. You don't get to keep it when you die. But yeah, I'll be the first in line to pick it back up if they improve any of those, but I don't see that happening. And if it does happen, it'll be probably like 2 years from now at least. And it's a real shame. It's a real shame. I love the beta to death. I loved the beta, and now it's just this. It's not even a game for casuals. It's not even a game for 9 to 5s. I don't know what really you can call this subgenre of people, but these ignorant, low intelligent, sit in a corner, don't ever move, don't ever engage in fights, like a 10-minute response delay people are the ones that this game is made for. Which is, you should never make games for those people. I don't know how people have horrible response time, really. And I'm not even talking about people that have medical conditions, because there's people with medical conditions that blow people out of the water that don't. I don't know. Maybe gaming just isn't for these people. Like, and that's, you know, or not gaming itself, but FPS, right? Competitive multiplayer online experiences. Maybe that's just not for these people. But I think that this game is going to be made for the people that are going to sit with a sniper on a roof and not move when somebody is shooting like a rocket at them, and then the building's going to collapse and they're going to be like, oh my god, guys, the battlefield, he tore the building, you know, for those type of people. And to them, enjoy your game. I'll enjoy Black Ops 7 because, quite frankly, Black Ops 7 is the best COD we've ever had. It's better than Black Ops 2, and that was the greatest COD. So, yeah, I'm refunding Battlefield 6, and I don't recommend picking it up. I'm going to be so honest. I really don't. It's slow, it's sluggish. The gunplay is not at all where it used to be. And it's a real shame, but here we are. All right, I got to figure out something to do for content until Black Ops 7. So, yeah, love y'all. Stay hydrated, stay safe, stay moisturized. Okay, bye. Love you. Mwah. I got the shivers.